Hello. The following presentation is a research grant proposal um, on running an experiment on the effects of one technology on computer-based assessments. Um, so to kind of backtrack into where this research proposal came from, um, we look at some introduction in terms of some data and trends in education. The first is that technology integration in the classroom has increased drastically. And in many ways, we continue to see technology becoming a part of the classroom in more and more ways. And then the assessing students has shifted towards using technology more and more, both for formative and summative purposes. So we've added technology to the classroom, and that also includes how we assess our students. And for example, the Georgia Milestones end of course test uh, is a state mandated computer based assessment. So these assessments are done over technology as we've added technology to the classroom. We've also added assessments uh, in the way all the way up to the state level in the way the state mandated tests have gone into computer based assessments. But daily classroom technology access is not equal throughout the state. So you have state mandated tests such as, the Georgia Milestones EOC in different content areas that are done over technology, yet not all students have equal technology access when it comes to daily purposes. So, that kind of develops this problem that all students are required to take state mandated computer based assessments, but not all students have equal access to technology to prepare. Some data to kind of drive this point home a little bit, comparing a few schools. You can see from the chart here, School A is not a school that does not have a one-to-one technology initiative within the school, and School B is a school that has a one-to-one technology integrated into the school, and then the state of Georgia overall performance standards. And this is based on the Algebra 1 milestones category. So this is specifically in the content area of Algebra 1. You can kind of see from the chart and from the table how School B, in terms of performance, has done a little bit better overall in terms of the number of distinguished learners and proficient learners. And they are a one-to-one technology integrated school compared to School A. Number of tested, you can see, are not that far off. These schools are within 25 miles of each other. Their socioeconomic challenges are different from school to school, but this research proposal focuses specifically on what that one-to-one technology integration could do from school to school. So, as a hypothesis, providing students with one-to-one technology in the classroom will increase student performance on state-mandated computer-based assessments. It will increase student engagement with content, and it will increase the ability to practice tests that mimic the actual tests. So the idea is that by adding one-to-one technology integration to the classroom, we will be able to increase student performance on these state-mandated computer-based assessments. Some further investigation that was done before putting this entire proposal together. The use of technology in the classroom will only increase over time. That was a study by Ross in 2020. We are adding technology to the classroom, and it's continuing to add to the classroom. We're not going backwards from it. The primary reason for the lack of technology in the classroom is due to lack of resources, which is also interesting with the next study that investigating a technology must be measured heavily against the investments to increase student benefits. So the idea is that we have a limited amount of resource within education itself. How much of this needs to go to drive home to technological resources? A couple of studies there. Providing students with one-to-one technology gives students more access to practice outside the classroom. We know 2006, so it gives you more advantages outside the classroom when students have one-to-one technology access. To effectively use technology, students must have learning experience with technology one research proposal studied, and then one more was that technology allows students to engage with both content and other learners. So there's a vast, wide-ranging amount of investigations that have been done into technology and its purposes. This proposal would focus primarily on the effects of it within student learning for computer-based assessments and how it could improve student performance on computer-based assessments. This study will be a quantitative research study with data gathered from the Georgia Milestones EOC. Specific technology uses and applications will not be monitored, but not used in evaluation effectiveness, rather the implementation of technology and direct effect on student scores. The purpose of this study is to simply understand if daily technology integration through one-to-one technology access will positively affect student performance on the Georgia Milestones EOC. The conclusion will take place through a comparison of scores of both classrooms that are issued one-to-one technology and those that are not issued one-to-one technology. So the idea is there are a lot of factors that go into student performance. We would like this study to focus specifically on one-to-one technology integration and its effects on student performance on standardized tests using technology. Participants would be freshman Algebra 1 students at a Georgia high school that has to take the EOC. We're going to use simple random sampling to pull data from those Georgia EOCs. Independent variable will be access and integration of one-to-one technology. Your dependent variable for the study will be the Georgia Milestones EOC scores, and that will also be our instrument, will be the Georgia Milestones EOC test in Algebra 1. As we discuss further, the action plan, some operational definitions, one-to-one technology integrated classrooms will be referred to as ALGT, and classrooms that do not have one-to-one technology but rather traditional listening plans will be referred to as ALG. So we will have both of those groups as part of our independent variable group. A timeline for this action plan is going to take a full year. The summer before, students will be assigned to Algebra 1 classes as they would be normally. Throughout the summer, 3 teachers will be selected for performing, and this is at a specific Georgia high school. 3 teachers will be selected for performing the experiment through volunteers to add one-to-one technology to their classroom. Each teacher will be assigned one Algebra 1T, so ALGT group, and one section of Algebra 1 without technology, so ALG non-one-to-one group. Each section will have to have 20 or more students. So you have 3 teachers. Each teacher gets one ALGT group and one ALG group. Throughout the summer, also, teachers will be trained on technology integration expectations in the classroom. Students in the ALG and ALGT group will go through their school year as normal, with the ALGT receiving instruction through one-to-one technology. This is the major difference in the experiment, is that some students will receive technology training in the classroom and some will not. Teachers 1, 2, and 3 would collaborate on lessons and documentations and plans for both ALGT and ALG classes, and at the end of the school year, all students will take the Georgia Milestones EOC. The following summer, those EOC scores will have a simple random selection of each class taken out for data comparison. Big reliability are the Georgia Milestones EOC. It's a big part of the reliability of this. The reliability of that test will be a big part. The internal validity. The main issue to internal validity of this proposal will be that the teachers will be able to consistently add the technology within the classroom and for the lesson plans, and make sure that there's consistency there. And there are some limitations with student engagement and attendance that could interfere. Some ethical and educational considerations. Students in both ALGT and ALG classes must be taught in accordance with state standards. All students and participants must go through a typical school year, with the only difference coming in technology integration. All students will participate in the EOC in accordance with State Department standards. Each student participant must sign a consent form to participate, and random identification must be used for confidentiality purposes when gathering data at the end of the year. All students will remain confidential as their test scores are drawn at the end of the year. And the main goal is student achievement. The goal of this study is to find the benefits of one-to-one technology on student performance. On computer-based standardized testing, student achievement will be determined by increased test scores after analysis of the Georgia Milestones EOC. If a student achievement is increasing, it will show through the EOC data. And in reflecting upon this proposal and reading through again, personally, I believe that the biggest issues are there needs to be more study on the one-to-one technology side and understanding, because one-to-one technology integration means a lot of things, and also its effects on special education. More in-depth study needs to be looked at the effects of special education within this study itself. I believe this study focuses on the general ed aspect, and we need to make sure that our study also incorporates into the special ed category, making sure that all students have equal opportunity and access to performance. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed my proposal.